Hi friends, welcome to Treasures from the Lutheran Church, a podcast accompanying my weekly devotional on Substack where I translate prayers, meditations, sermons, and other resources from the Lutheran tradition. One of my favorite translation projects is Valerius Herberger's sermons on the book of Sirach. As I explained in the last podcast about this topic, several books of the Apocrypha were received by the Lutheran tradition as part of the Church's Catholic tradition. I see evidence of this all the time in the things I translate. Many books of the Apocrypha are just part of the repertoire of their formative texts. But some Lutherans, like Herberger, and others he references in his sermon, also went so far as to preach on these texts in their churches. This may come as a surprise to you. Why would Lutherans preach on a book of the Apocrypha? In his first sermon on the Prologue to Sirach, Herberger offers 5 reasons for preaching on Sirach, which I will read below. I hope this piques your interest so you can look forward to these sermons that I've translated and will be recording. The next podcast on this topic will be Herberger's first complete sermon. Until then, here are 5 reasons for preaching on the book of Sirach. Herberger writes, "This book is certainly worthy of being used, particularly because, first, the Holy Christian Church has always held Jesus Sirach in high regard. For this reason, many good ancient hymns were taken from it. What was dear to our pious ancestors ought not to be inimical to us, especially what they took from the Bible, for we have nothing to do with statutes of men and superstitions. Second, many learned people have long worked on Sirach and have built upon it with great benefit like a fruitful little mine of treasure, such as Mathesius, Huberinus, etc. In my time, M. Korber of Freistadt preached on Sirach, and Martinus Arnoldus has also preached on it here in Frauenstadt before. Thus it will do us no harm to do so again this time. We also wish to obtain unto our salvation. As for me, I desire to faithfully carry out my office with teaching and expounding, and you may do your part by diligently listening. But be doers of the word and not hearers only, lest you deceive yourselves. Third, it has always been customary to let school children read Sirach after the catechism, so that the dear tender youth may be instilled, as with mother's milk, with the fear of God and Christian life from the very beginning. For to neglect the youth in this manner is just as grave a sin, Luther says, as cheating a virgin of her crown of honor. Fourth, Sirach treats only necessary matters which accord with the Holy 10 Commandments. Here there are no fables of the Knight St. George, of Great Christopher, and others about whom the monks and monasteries used to prattle. Rather, we hear of only salutary things, matters which are most necessary for Christianity, which Sirach has explained and commended with nothing but the veritable narrative from the Bible. Fifth, when we expound this book and diligently exhort our hearers, as customarily occurs in all sermons, to faithfully follow all which Sirach tells us, then we hereby publicly attest that it is an utter falsehood which our adversaries spread, namely that we evangelicals teach absolutely nothing about good works in our churches." So far, Herberger. Thanks for listening. Go to the show notes to find this text on Substack, as well as several complete sermons on Sirach on my Substack archive.